morning students. This is 11th standard botany video class, video 10. In this video, we are going to continue the lesson Plant Kingdom. Dear students, in the previous video class, we have seen different topics, that is life cycle of Funaria, systematic position, external features of Funaria, the plant body differentiated into stem-like, leaf-like and root-like organ. At the tip of the plant body, they are containing the sporophytic region known as capsule. Then internal structure of stem-like portion known as axis. Then TS of leaf-like organ. Then it shows the two mode of reproduction, vegetative and sexual mode of reproduction. Vegetative reproduction taken place by four methods: fragmentation of primary protonema, formation of secondary protonema, formation of gemmae on the protonemal filament, then development of bulbils on the rhizoids. Then sexual reproduction in Funaria. The Funaria, which consists of two different sex organs, which is present on the different branches of same gametophyte. That condition is known as monoecious condition in Funaria. These two different sex organs are produced on the branches known as antiradial branches covered by perigonial leaves. Archegonial branch is enclosed by a perichecial leaves. The different antheridium are separated by paraphysis. Likewise, archegonium is also separated by paraphysis. The antheridium, which produce biflagellate anthrozoid, which swims in the water and reaches to the archegonium by chemotaxis movement, that is, movement towards the chemical substance known as chemotaxis. One of the anthrozoid fuses with the egg and forms the diploid zygote, produce the sporophytic region. This sporophyte or a capsule differentiated into three important parts: foot, setae and capsule. Then they are showing the different structure. A sterile region is called hypophysis and the fertile region known as columella. At the lateral side of the columella, they are containing the spore-bearing organs, that is sporangium. Then after that, at the tip of the capsule, having a dome-shaped opening known as operculum, they are containing many tooth-like arrangements is known as peristome, which is hygroscopic in nature to liberate the spores outside. So these spores germinate and produce a thread-like green branched protonemal stage. Then afterward, it is developed into new Funaria plant. That's why the Funaria, which shows the alternation of generation. And life cycle of Funaria also we have seen in the previous video class. Dear students, in this video, we are going to see the next subclass of next class of cryptogames. Dear students, in the previous video class, we have seen the plant kingdom classification divided into cryptogames, that is non-flowering plants, phanerogames, flowering plants. This cryptogame only again divided into three classes. One is the Thallophyta, we have seen algae and the life cycle of two important species, Oedogonium and Chara. The next class is Bryophytes. In that Bryophytes, we have seen two plants. One is the Margantia, another one is the Finaria. The third class of the cryptogames is said to be Pteridophytes. That Pteridophytes' characteristic feature and life cycle of different genus only we are going to see in this video class. Dear students, Pteridophytes. They are named as seedless vascular cryptogames. Dear students, kindly remember the word Bryophytes are named as non-vascular cryptogames. That means absence of vascular tissue such as xylem and phloem. But Pteridophytes are vascular cryptogames. That means they contains xylem and phloem known as vascular tissue. That's why pteridophytic plants are named as vascular cryptogames but seedless. Why it's said to be seedless? The name itself, that is, the broad division of plant kingdom, name itself having the meaning of that one, cryptogame, otherwise known as non-flowering plants. That means absence of flower. If there is no flower means no seed, isn't it? That's why the pteridophytes are named as seedless. That means absent of seed, but vascular cryptogames. That is presence of vascular tissue such as xylem and phloem. This is the one of the diagram of pteridophytes which are used as an ornamental plant. In some of the houses, they are grown in the pot region. That is said to be the pteridophytic plant which is dichotomously branched. Each and every branch which are divided into two. That is said to be dichotomously branched stem-like portion present in the plant body. Dear students, in the previous class Bryophytes, we have seen Bryophytes are known as amphibious plants and also first land plants. That means terrestrial mode of habitat. But these Bryophytes shows two modes of habitat. One is the water, another one is the land, that is terrestrial. So, Bryophytes are known as amphibious of the plant kingdom. But these pteridophytes are considered to be a true land plants. Underline the word. One more question. Pteridophytes are considered as first dash plant, means true land plants. So these plants also contains conductive tissue or vascular tissue known as xylem and phloem. So they are known as vascular cryptogames. Two more question. Why pteridophytic plants are known as vascular cryptogames? Pteridophytic plants possess conductive tissue or vascular tissue such as xylem and phloem. They are named as vascular cryptogames. Some example of the vascular cryptogames are club moss, horse tails. That means the plant body is look like in the form of horse tail. Then quillworts, water ferns and tree ferns are the different plants belongs to this pteridophytic groups. So this is the introductory part of what is that one? Pteridophyte or seedless vascular cryptogames. Dear students, the history of pteridophytes. That is habit and habitat, characteristic feature and living place of an pteridophytes. So in the previous para, we have seen pteridophytes are vascular cryptogames. That means conducting tissue are present. Then the period of the geological time scale is known as Devonian period of Paleozoic era. Underline the word Devonian period of Paleozoic era. That means 400 million years ago the plants are produced. Still they are located all over the world. But the first they are produced, the period is known as Devonian period of Paleozoic era. Is the very, very important 1 mark question. So these plants are very small. Most probably they are attached to the bottom of the substratum or soil, or they are living on the bark of a trees, or their height is up to 3 feet in height. That is known as small. Herbaceous. Herb means the plant which are showing height is 3 feet in height. That's why I told you. Herbaceous. And grow well in the moist. That means they need little amount of water or moist condition in the soil. Cool. That means hill station. And shady places where water is available. Underline the word. That's why I told you a little amount of water is required for their growth development. So pteridophytic plants are small, herbaceous. They grow well in the moist, cool, shady places with little amount of water. So different pteridophytic plants is given in this book. We will see later. First, we are going to see the general characteristic feature of pteridophytes. Dear students, this is the important 5 mark question. General characteristic feature of algae, general characteristic feature of bryophytes, general characteristic feature of pteridophytes. All these 3 characteristic features are very, very important 5 mark question. The first one, the plant body is sporophyte, that is diploid in condition. Plant body is sporophyte. Underline the word. Dear students, bryophytes we have seen. The plant body or a thalli is known as gametophyte. Okay. But here the pteridophytes are known as sporophyte and also diploid. But bryophytes, the plant body or an thalli is gametophyte and also haploid, n number of chromosome. But in pteridophytes, it is diploid and also sporophyte. In this pteridophytic plants, which one is the dominant phase means sporophyte is the dominant phase. But in the bryophytes, gametophyte is the free, independent, photosynthetic and also dominant phase. Okay. It is opposite to the pteridophyte. Sporophyte is the dominant phase which is diploid in condition. The plant body is differentiated into root, stem and leaf. But this root, stem and leaves somewhat different from the advanced plants which is present in the gymnosperm and angiosperm, that is flowering plants. So flowering plants, root, stem and leaves are different from the pteridophytic plants, root, stem and leaves. The roots, they are showing the adventitious type of roots. So what is adventitious root? The roots which is arising from the base of the stem region or nodal region of the stem region or other than the radical region of an embryo. Those roots are known as adventitious roots. So what is adventitious roots? The root which is arising from other than the radical of an embryo. So the radical region of the embryo only which gives rise to root system. That one we will study later in a detailed manner. That is third unit, plant taxonomy. Okay, so here just you know, the root which are arising from the other than radical region of an embryo is known as adventitious roots. Or another definition is a cluster of root which is arising at the base of the stem or in the nodal region of the stem is known as adventitious root. So this type of root only present in the pteridophytes. Then the stem shows the monopodial or dichotomous branching. So monopodial means the direction, the growth and development of a stem which moves in a only one direction. So that means each and every branches which are divided into two. That's why I told you from the beginning itself, the plant body is known as dichotomously branching. So each and every branch of a stem divided into two. So that is said to be monopodial or dichotomous branching. Next one, leaves. Dear students, I told you this leaves are somewhat different from the advanced plants, that is gymnosperm and angiosperm. So see the types of the leaves. The leaves are in two shapes. One is microphyllous, small, micro means small, phyllos means leaves, or megaphyllous, that is larger in size. Okay, so two type of leaves are present in the plant body, maybe microphyllous or megaphyllous. Then they are containing the stele is known as protostele. What is stele? Dear students, in 10th standard, you have studied the first lesson, plant anatomy and plant physiology in biology portion. In that plant anatomy, you have studied internal structure of root, stem and leaves. In that internal structure, you have seen the vascular bundles. So these vascular bundles are arranged in the group which are surrounded by a region is known as stele or vascular bundle. Isn't it? That stele divided into different types. The one of the stele is known as protostele. Proto, which means primitive or first formed stele. Because the pteridophytic plants are the first vascular cryptogames, that is plants. Isn't it? So, the arrangement of xylem and phloem are in the primitive stage only, basic form, not in the advanced one. So that is said to be protostele, first formed stele or basic stele. But in some forms, that means higher forms of pteridophytes, showing the siphonostele is present. So the siphonostele is the another type of stele which is present in the plant known as Marsilia. So Marsilia, in Tamil we call it Arakira அப்படினு சொல்லுவாங்க. Arakira, that is said to be Marsilia. The arrangement of leaf is look like in the form of flower. Leaf arrangement is look like in the form of a flower. That plant is known as Marsilia. Don't confuse Vallarakira and Arakira. Arakira is different from the Vallarakira. So Marsilia, other in common name is, what is that one? Arakira. Then tracheids are the major water conducting elements, but in Selaginella vessels are found. Dear students, vascular tissue such as xylem and phloem. The xylem is also made up of with different 4 xylem components. Phloem is also made up of with 4 xylem components. That one you already studied in 9th standard. Xylem is divided into xylem tracheids, xylem vessel, xylem parenchyma and xylem fiber. Likewise, phloem is also differentiated into sieve cell, companion cell, phloem parenchyma and phloem fiber. So here, out of these 4 xylem components, the tracheids are the important xylem components which conducts the water and mineral salts. Dear students, normally the function of the xylem is conducting water and mineral salts along with its xylem components, that is 4 types of cell. Out of these 4 types of cell in pteridophytes, tracheids are conducting the water and mineral salts, except one advanced plant of pteridophyte known as Selaginella. In that Selaginella plant, xylem vessel which are conducting the water and mineral salts. Vessel, underline the word. A vessel is the characteristic features of advanced plant, that is gymnosperm and angiosperm. Particularly angiosperm plant only, they are containing the vessels to conduct water and mineral salt. About this we will learn in a detailed manner in the topic, that is plant anatomy. Dear students, so in pteridophytes, tracheids are the major water conducting elements, but Selaginella vessels are the water conducting elements. Then spores are produced from the bag-like structure is known as sporangia, which born, that means developed on a special leaves known as sporophyll. Dear students, mark it down. What is sporophyll? Sporangia, that is spore bearing organs. It is in the shape of bag-like structure. Born, that means developed on a special leaves is known as sporophyll. What is the meaning for sporophyll? Sporo, which means spore bearing organ. Phyll, what is that one? Leaves. So, the spore bearing organs are developed on a special leaves known as sporophyll. So, many sporophylls are produced on the branches. These sporophylls are collectively known as strobilus. So, all the sporophylls are get organized or combined together to form a cone-like structure. So, cone-like, the shape is look like in the form of bud of a rose. Bud of a rose means look like it's in the form of cone, isn't it? In that shape only, these sporophyll leaves are joined together to form a cone-like structure is known as strobilus. This is another important 1 mark and 2 mark question. All the sporophyll leaves are organized together to form a cone-like structure is known as strobilus. Example, Selaginella and Equisetum. Next one, inside the sporangium, they are producing the spores. The type of spores is also differentiated into 2. One is the homosporous, another one is the heterosporous. Homo, that means same. Same type of spores are produced in some kind of pteridophytic plants. Other plants which are producing 2 different types of spores known as heterosporous. Homosporous example, Lycopodium. Heterosporous example, Selaginella. Dear students, differentiate between homosporous and heterosporous is the book back question. Kindly note it down. The answer is the plant body which are producing same type of spores is known as homosporous. Example, Lycopodium. The plant body which are producing different types of spores known as heterosporous. Example, Selaginella. This different type of spores which are showing the origin of seed habit. Normally, pteridophytic plants are known as seedless, isn't it? But some advanced type of pteridophytic plants which are showing formation of seed-like organ, that is said to be heterospory. Heterospory is the origin for seed habit. The next characteristic feature is eusporangiate and leptosporangiate. This is also important. Differentiate between question. The development of a sporangium may be group of the initials, that means number of cells which are produced the sporangium means that is known as eusporangiate type. Another one, the development of the sporangium by single initial, that is only one cell, that is known as leptosporangiate. What is that one? Eusporangiate means sporangium are developed from a group of cell or initials is known as eusporangiate. Leptosporangiate means the sporangia which is produced by single initial is known as leptosporangiate. Next, the spore mother cell which afterwards produce the spores undergo meiotic cell division, produce haploid spores. In this point, dear students, you have to note that one, the plant body of the pteridophyte is sporophyte, which is diploid in conditions on a 2n number of chromosomes. Up to this spore mother cell, the plant body is diploid. This diploid spore mother cell undergo meiotic cell division, produce haploid spores, which is n number of spores. Then these haploid spores are germinate and produce haploid multicellular green color chordate shape, that is odd shaped independent gametophytes called prothallus. Dear students, this is the very important 2-mark question. What is prothalli or prothallus? The haploid spores germinate to produce haploid, that means n number of chromosome, with a many cell, that means multicellular, color is green, shape is chordate or odd shaped, free, that means independent, not depending upon the sporophyte, independent gametophyte is called prothallus. Next, some of the vegetative reproduction method is also taken place in pteridophytes. One is fragmentation, then resting buds, root tubers and adventitious bud. Fragmentation, we all know that one, plant body is due to natural climatic condition break into number of pieces known as fragments. These fragments are developed into a new individual. Another one, resting buds. The content of the cell in the plant body which are modified into oval shaped structure. These oval shaped structures are taking rest for some period. After that, they are developed into a new individual. That is said to be resting buds. Root tubers, the root which is located in the soil, which are storing the food material, and the shape which is modified into root tuber-like structure. For example, potato, that is said to be root tuber, like shape, or sweet potato, sakaravalli sweet potato, then tapioca, maravalli everything is known as root tuber, but potato is the modification of stem, that one different, but I am explaining with the example only, don't take it as that one we will see later, what is root tuber and stem tuber. Here, the root which is shape is modified into tubular-like structure, which is responsible for vegetative reproduction. Then, normally, the buds are produced in the stem region only. Other than the stem, the buds which are produced from the leafy region or the root region, known as adventitious buds. So, these buds also developed into new individual. These are all the different method of vegetative reproduction. Next, sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction is oogamous type. Have you remember, students, what is oogamy? The spores which are produced is both morphologically and physiologically dissimilar gametes. So, the fusion of morphologically and physiologically different gametes, that type of reproduction is known as oogamous. Here also, they are producing two type of sex organ, antheridium and archegonium, are produced on the green, heart-shaped, independent, multicellular gametophyte, okay, known as, what is that one? Prothallus. Antheridium, which are producing the male sex organ, known as anthrozoid, but in pteridophyte, the anthrozoids are multiflagellate. Underline the word. Bryophytes, they are producing biflagellate, only two flagella, isn't it? Biflagellate anthrozoid. But in this pteridophytic plants, they are producing multiflagellate anthrozoids. Then, shape of the archegonium. This one also we have seen in bryophytes. The shape of the archegonium is flask shaped. At the basal, broad basal portion is known as venter, and a narrow elongated region is known as neck. Inside the venter only, the archegonium contains egg or ova. Venter is made up of with venter canal cells. Likewise, neck is made up of with neck canal cells. Dear students, like bryophytes, pteridophytes plants also required water for fertilization process. After fertilization, fusion of two gametes, haploid male gamete and haploid female gamete, fuse together to form a diploid zygote. This diploid zygote undergoes mitotic cell division to form an embryo. Dear students, some diagram is also shown here. This is the Lycopodium plant known as club moss. Dear students, this is another diagram, Ecosystem, known as horse tail. See the structure of a plant, it's look like in the form of horse tail. That's why the plant is known as horse tail. The name of a pteridophytic plant is Ecosystem. Next one, Azolla. The Azolla is a free-floating, aquatic, water fern. Dear students, the common name for pteridophytic plants are known as Fern family. What is that one? Fern family. So one of the fern is living in the water. So it is known as water fern, named Azolla. This plant consists of a small, slender, stalk-like portion. It bears the leaves at the tip, 2 leaves at the tip. It is a very small plant in the pteridophytic division. Is known as Azolla or water fern. Is very much important for rice paddy seedlings. Is they are fixing the atmospheric nitrogen into the soil. So this Azolla, which play an important role in the paddy agriculture field methods. Dear students, this is the last characteristic feature of pteridophytes. That is, pteridophytes show the apogamy and apospory. So what is apogamy? Apogamy means the pteridophytic plants which are produced haploid embryo without the fertilization process. Apo means absence of gamete formation or gamete fusion. So there is no fertilization process. They are producing haploid embryo is known as apogamy. Another one, apospory. So what is apospory means? The diploid gametophyte is produced from the diploid sporophyte. That is said to be apospory. So these are all the 2 mode of process which is present in the pteridophyte. Dear students, these are all the characteristic features of pteridophytes. I hope have you all understood the general introductory part of pteridophytes and characteristic features of pteridophyte. Remaining, we will see in the next video class. God bless you. All the best, children.